Okay, so this week's Q&A question is, how did I meet my wife? Well, I'll begin with a quick preface here. My wife is the fourth person I ever dated, as well as the fourth person I ever kissed from a romantic standpoint. Um, Before her, I actually hadn't been on a date in roughly a decade. So yeah, I kind of had three girlfriends roughly in the time of high school and junior college, and then from pretty much college on to getting a job, no, it's pretty much just school and being a single guy. So after I bought a house, I was looking for a place to work out. Went to a couple different gyms in my area. There were quite a few, ranging from kind of sketchy, like, so this is where the elderly are, to ones where it'd be about $2,000 a year, because you would go through a full background of, here's your height, weight, BMI, so full physical, yearly physicals, and that one of course had indoor running gym, a full kinesiology based system that helped you work better on your golf game. And I was like, yeah, no. So I eventually found myself a gym that, was very much just a gym. It was actually a Cardinal Fitness. So if you're from the Midwest, you might have heard Cardinal. They're a relatively small chain. Cheap, inexpensive. For a while, they weren't at 24 hours. Then they hit a 24-hour cycle. So, I enjoyed it. It was fine. So I went to the gym a decent amount. They actually had a cardio kickboxing class. And I was like, you know what? I would love to do that. It was the water-filled base bags. So yeah, I did that for quite some time. There was a woman in the class who eventually becomes my wife. So she was one of, well, I should probably say this too, I was the only guy who did the kickboxing. Pretty much all the guys, they were like, I'm here to lift weights, or I'm ride the exercise bike, or I'm on the treadmill, and I'm like, I'm gonna punch stuff. So the only one that would share bags with me was the instructor, who I had more power, but she had a lot more speed. There was another woman who liked sharing the bag with me because I hit really hard, so it forced her to react differently. And Sunny. So I knew her for probably about a year. I should also say that at this time, I had, my hair up here was shorter. There was more hair up here. I didn't like, the glaring five head. I guess now we're probably about 6. But I shaved it to about 1/6 of an inch. So I had virtually no hair on my head. I also, for quite some time, had a very long goatee. So just from about like here down to the point where I could braid it. I actually put a point on it from time to time. So if I was outside, I could tell the direction of the wind from my goatee moving. As well as if you see other photos of me, for a while I actually did the trident or pitchfork. That's where you have about 2 fingers width here coming down, and 1 finger coming here down off the lip line, with the space here being shaved. So think of like 3 mini goatees. I know what you're thinking, probably sounds pretty sweet, but middle of Illinois, Midwestern town, just looked like a weirdo. And of course, in college, I had long hair and a beard, so I looked kind of like Kane or Triple H, depending on how I manicured my beard. The Thanksgiving before I graduated from college, I actually lost the ponytail, and my mom wanted to frost my tips so I looked like Guy Fieri. So, 6'3", 240 version of Guy Fieri. And then after, I started getting a job, I was like, I started shaving the head so it was easier. I started doing weird facial hair because once you realize you're going bald, this is all you really have for things to do. It's like you can have really balding hair, you can have a shaved head, or you can do really weird facial hair things. So I mildly talked with her a little bit here and there. And then all of a sudden one time it was near Valentine's Day. I went with a woman that I worked with, my work wife, to discuss like Valentine's Day cards. So I got her a Valentine's Day card. And when I do this, I asked her how her New Year's was. She said she got together with some friends from her church. That was it. No discussion of boyfriend, anything like that. I'm like, alright. Usually she's probably single. I'm going to make a play at this time because I'm a logical individual who plans ahead. Got her Valentine's Day card. She then was like, oh, we'll check to go out and get something to eat. Sure. We actually went to a Cracker Barrel, saw the film Definitely Maybe. So the meal at Cracker Barrel lasted 3 hours. Now because the food was slow, I was on point. I was a hilarious individual. Definitely Maybe was a good movie. We did a couple other movies after that because where we live, it's kind of just movies. Actually, a funny story about... So, we went out ring shopping probably 7... We were engaged longer than we were dating. So we went out ring shopping. I got a ring that she liked. It was like, I think, the wedding ring and engagement ring were about $5,000. So way beyond what I was making over a 2-month period of time. Now, I actually I know I had to ask her mom because her dad was off in Idaho. So we're down in Champaign visiting her brother and their kids. I talked to Sonny's mom and I was like, I need to tell you something. I was asked if I could marry her daughter. Sonny's mom thought I pulled her aside to tell her that I broke the toilet. Even I went, why would I call you, the non-homeowner, aside to say I broke the toilet? That doesn't make sense at all. It makes 0 sense. So of course, when I finally actually popped the question, I decided I was going to go visit Sonny at work. She worked at she's an occupational therapist, so she worked at an occupational therapy center that dealt with the elderly. I went to Fannie Mae Candy. She enjoyed there's sea salt caramels and melted Mentos. So there's these little cube-like things. I got a package of 3. I ate the middle one. I put the engagement ring in where the chocolate would be. Went to a nice place and I got 2 nice roses. One nice red, one nice white. So she's taking me around, like showing me off to people. She goes, oh, can I have some chocolate? I'm like, oh, sure, have some chocolate, go ahead. She opens the bag, closes the bag, and goes, not in here. Okay. I'm like, you know I've got the ring. I had to get it resized. So she would be like, can I try it on? No. What do you mean no? No. The ring fits. It still fits. When the time comes, I'll pop the question. So in the parking lot of where she worked, I asked if she'd marry me. Of course, she said yes because I had chocolate and roses. And then we went to a Mexican restaurant that no longer exists. Now it's a different establishment. So I actually met her through a kickboxing class. Probably not this long, drawn out, like really romantic thing. It's like, oh, so it's a girl that you kind of knew from kickboxing for about a year that you gave a Valentine's Day card to. Yeah. And now here we are, oh man, the time of this video, 6 years? Wow, 6 years. Actually, about 6.5 of being married. So, it wasn't one of those things where I met through online dating. It was very much I happened to get a job in a location, bought a house, started going to a gym, boom. So I met her through a kickboxing class. One of the few who actually would, hang with me when it came to working the bag. I should also need to mention this. At the time, I worked out in jean shorts. Jean shorts, normally a tank top. So think of it kind of like a bald, crazy, bearded version of John Cena, just not as jacked, wearing a tank top. It's about how I liked working out.